Again, it's a rich thing.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to build a simple Coinbase crypto trading bot in Python. So let us get right into it. Alright, so we're going to build a crypto trading bot in Python using the Coinbase Pro API. And in order to do that, we need to have a Coinbase Pro account. Now, if you're using Kraken or any other platform, any other exchange, any other crypto exchange, let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see a video for your platform, for example, Kraken or any other platform. If the API is not too messy and if it's well documented, at least to some degree, I might do a video on that, especially if this video performs well. So let me know in the comment section. Today, we're going to focus on Coinbase Pro, and I'm not going to show you how to set up a basic Coinbase Pro account. That's not too complicated, and it's not really related to programming. But if you have a Coinbase Pro account already, I'm going to show you how you can set up the API, how we can connect to it, and how we can automate trading in Python. Now, however, before we get into the actual coding, I need to, as always, mention that this video is not financial advice. It is not investing advice. It is not crypto advice. I'm not a financial professional. I'm just a programming teacher on YouTube, a machine learning teacher, a data science teacher. I'm not a financial advisor, professional, or anything. So don't listen to me when it comes to trading strategies or what to buy, what to sell. I'm not giving that advice. I'm just showing you how you can use programming to automate your investments. So having said that, let's go into the Coinbase Pro interface here, and we're going to click on our account and go to API. In this backend here in the API, we can create new APIs. As you can see up here, new API key. In this case, I already have a key. The important thing is that this key that you see here is the public key. This is not anything that is sensitive data, so you can see that and it's not problematic. But you're also going to be shown two keys that are only going to be visible once. So you want to write them down, or you want to store them in a file, you want to encrypt them, anything like that. And those are the passphrase and the secret key, the API secret key. And those are going to be only showed once, and you should never share them with anyone. I'm not going to show them in this video. But if you want to create a new API, you just click up here. You say you choose the portfolio, in this case, my default portfolio. A name, and you set the permissions. This is very important. You want to say, okay, I can only view stuff, so I can only query stuff, or you can actually do trades. You can transfer money or cryptocurrencies and so on. As you can see here, we have a passphrase. We can change that. You should not show that to anyone. And once you create that API key, you're also going to be given a secret key and a public key. The public key is not problematic here. The secret key is, so you don't want to share that with anyone. This is how you set it up in Coinbase. Once you have that, you need to have these three things. You need to have the public key, the secret key, and the passphrase, and then we can go into Python. All right, so let's get into the Python coding, and for this, we're going to start by opening up the command line. We're going to need a library called CB Pro, which stands for Coinbase Pro, and this is the Python library that we're going to use in order to connect to the API and use it. So pip install CB Pro, like that. I'm not going to do that because I already have it. And once you have installed this, you can say import CB Pro, import Coinbase Pro. So now we can choose to use either a public client or an authenticated client. The difference is a public client doesn't need authentication. We don't need a secret key. We don't need a public key. We don't need a passphrase. But of course, we cannot do any account specific actions. We cannot sell. We cannot buy. We cannot get some specific information for our account. We can just look up some basic stuff like what currencies are out there, what's the time in the market, what are the stats for this particular currency, and so on. And we're going to start with that. We're just going to say public client equals, and then we're going to say cbpro.public client. And then we can print some basic information. For example, we can say result equals public client dot get products. Do we have a get products? There you go. Get products. Basically, what can we buy and what can we sell? And we can say for row in result print row. And I can run this. And in this case, I'm only interested in the ID. So I'm going to say ID. There you go. And you can see those are the things that we can buy. For example, OMG with Great Britain pounds, or ETC with euro, or Ethereum with Bitcoin, and so on. Those are the products that we can buy. If we only want to have the currencies, we can just say get currencies, not get products. Then we're going to see them individually listed. As you can see, we have Ethereum, we have US dollars. We don't have Ethereum to US dollars. We have them specifically here as currencies. We can also get the time. So get time and just print result. And you can see that we got a timestamp here. So those are just some basic information that we can get from the Coinbase Pro API. We can also get some information about a specific product. For example, public client get product order book for Bitcoin and US dollar. And then we can see the asks and the bids, basically the different orders. I didn't print that, so print result. There you go. You can see bids, asks, and we can do all sorts of things. For example, get product ticker, get product ticker. It's also a function here, and you can see the price, you can see the size, you can see the trade ID, and so on. And of course, we can also see the 24-hour stats, which are quite interesting. So get product 24-hour stats. And we can see, okay, open, high, low, volume, last. We don't really have a close necessarily because that's the crypto market. It's 24/7. And what we can also do is we can get the trades as a generator. Now, for those of you who don't know what a generator is, I recommend you to watch my advanced Python tutorial series, but we can use a function. For example, if we're interested in the Ethereum trades, we can just say public client dot get product trades of Ethereum to US dollar. And we can then say print next Ethereum trades. And we can do this a bunch of times. So we can see all the trades, as you can see here, from newest to oldest. And this is just a generator. And with every next, we see the next oldest, or actually the next youngest, no, the next oldest trade. So this is one thing that we can do as well. And yeah, that's just a public client. If we're interested in basic information, prices and stats and so on, you can use that. But if you want to take action, you want to use the authenticated client. All right, so now let's get into the interesting part. We're going to get into buying and selling, because this is what we're here for. We're not here for querying information. We can do that in another video, and we have done that in other videos. So we're going to look at the actual actions buy and sell. And for this, we're going to have to create an authenticated client. And for this, we need credentials. Now, in my case here, I have stored these things in a file called passphrase. It's not only the passphrase, it's the public key, the private key, and the passphrase. So what we're going to do here is, in my case, you can also do it clear text if you want to. It's not really secure, so I would not recommend it, but you can do it. I'm just going to say data equals open passphrase in reading mode dot read dot split lines. And then I'm going to say, now I just need to look up the order in which I have those things in there. So I think it's actually the public first. So we're going to say public equals data 0. And then I think I have the passphrase second and the secret last, like that. And if we want to create an authenticated client, all we need to do is we need to say some name. So auth client, for example, equals cbpro dot authenticated client. And here we now need to pass these things. Now the order is not the same as I have it in my file, so don't be confused here. The order is, first of all, we want to have the public thing. So we want to have public. Then we want to have the secret. Public. And then we want to have the passphrase. This is the order of things. So we can see if we get authenticated, and I'm going to show you how you can see that. So if I run this, we're going to see if it works or not. Authenticated client. Now, if I don't pass the secret, but hello world, we're probably going to get a different result here. So, or actually we don't get a different result. We're going to get a different result later on. So maybe we're not going to see it yet. But let's do something very simple. Let's just say auth client.get accounts. And if it works, we should be authenticated. There you go. We have an authenticated account, I think, because if I change this to hello, we should see that it says, there you go, invalid string, doesn't work. But let's say it's not invalid. Let's say we use secret here, but we use a different passphrase, for example, hello. Now I run this, it says invalid passphrase. So since it doesn't say that, if we do it correctly, it means that we're authenticated and we can work with that. Okay. So now that we know that, what can we do? We can actually go ahead and execute some buys and sells. Now, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to attempt it, and it's going to say that I don't have enough funds because I'm going to try to sell something that I don't own, and I'm going to try to buy something that I don't have enough money for, just for demonstration purposes. So we're not going to see any transactions made here. But what we can do is we can just say auth client.buy. This is the function that we're going to use. And here we can specify an order. For example, we can say, okay, I'm looking to buy for a price of 10, whatever 10 is. In my case, it's going to be euros because I'm in Europe and I cannot pay with US dollars. I have to pay with euros on Coinbase. For 10 euros, I want to buy 0.1 Ethereum. So I say price is 10.0. The size is going to be 0.1. And the order type is going to be a limit. Now, you should know what a limit in a market order is. A limit is basically I'm specifying price and size, and a market order is basically just buy for the current price if you have enough funds. And what am I going to buy? I'm going to buy product ID Ethereum Euro. So in this case, I'm asking for 0.1 Ethereum for 10 euros, which is not realistic. I'm not gonna get that because that's too cheap. I can also go more extreme and say I want 2.1 Ethereum for 10 euros. I'm not gonna get that. And if we want to see what happens when we execute that, we can just print what it returns because it's going to be an error message that says we cannot buy this. So if I run this, we see insufficient funds. So you can see that if the funds were not insufficient, I would be able to buy them. This is how you can buy stuff with the Coinbase Pro API. Same thing goes for a market order. So I can just go ahead and say, I'm going to print this as well, auth client.buy. And here, of course, we don't specify a price because a market order basically says you say how much you want and we buy it for the market price. In this case, I'm going to say, okay, I want to have 10 Ethereum. Order type is market. And the product is the same, so it's basically just Ethereum for euro. And yeah, you will see that this also says insufficient funds because we cannot do that. Now let's try to sell something. Let's say auth client.sell, and we can sell, for example, let's say I want to have a price of like that, price of 20,000 euros for a size of 10 Bitcoin. So I want to sell Bitcoin. I want to sell 10 Bitcoins for $20,000. I think that's even too cheap. So let's add some zeros here. And this is going to be a limit order. So order type is going to be a limit. And the product ID is going to be BTC Euro. So I'm going to sell Bitcoins for euros here, but I don't own any Bitcoins. I only own Ethereum in this account. So I'm not going to be able to do that again. I'm specifically doing stuff that I cannot do because I don't want to make any transactions here. But if I have the funds, I would be able to do that. In this case, it says insufficient funds. I don't have the Bitcoins that I'm trying to sell. And the same thing goes with the market sell. So basically just auth client, sell, and then you say size. I want to sell 10 Bitcoins. Order type is going to be market for the current market price, product ID, Bitcoin, Euro. So if I would have 10 Bitcoins, I would be able to sell it for the market price. It says no. I'm not printing that. So it would say insufficient funds as well. So this is how you do a basic buy and sell, and we can also do an alternative way. I'm going to show you how you can do that alternatively. If you don't want to specify that the order type is this or that, you can just say auth client dot, and now you can go ahead and say place limit order. So you can just say in general, this is a limit order. And instead of specifying the order type, because it's already specified here, you can specify the side. So are you buying or are you selling? And we can say, okay, product ID is Bitcoin Euro, and I'm on the side that I want to buy. So I'm on the buying side, and I want to buy for a price of, I don't know, 10 euros. I want to buy 2 Bitcoins, which I'm not going to be able to do. But that is what I'm trying to do here. And we're going to print the result as well here. So this is just an alternative way. We're actually doing the same thing, but this time we're not specifying the order. We're specifying the site. We can do the same thing with sell here. And we can do the same thing with auth client dot place market order. And again, product ID, side, and size. This is not too complicated. We can also cancel orders. We can just say auth client dot cancel all, basically canceling all orders for a specific product, in this case Bitcoin Euro, for example. Now I think it's going to give us an error that we don't have any orders, or it's just going to not return anything because, yeah, it's just going to return an empty list because we didn't have any orders to cancel. If we would have canceled any orders, it would probably say, okay, cancel them. Those are the orders canceled. And we can also get, if we want that, we can also get auth client dot get orders, and we can see as a generator again what orders we have with next, and we can look into those. Now, this is all just the theory, and now let's look at a practical example. This is going to be a trivial example. Why? Because I already have videos on algorithmic trading, on machine learning price prediction, on technical analysis. So if you're interested in actual strategies, look into those videos, and you might find something that interests you. In this video, I just want to show you how you actually do the transactions with Coinbase Pro, and what strategy you use is up to you. So you can implement a strategy. The point is, if you have a strategy, for example, one of my videos, algorithmic trading strategy or technical analysis in Python, you might have a decision that now you want to sell, but how do you actually sell? This is that video. How do you actually sell and how do you actually buy if you don't want to do it manually? So you can combine the content into one full trading bot here. So here we're just going to do a very trivial example. We're going to say import time, and we're going to just do something pretty stupid. It's just going to be something like a stop loss order or anything like that. We're just going to say, okay, sell under a certain price or buy after a certain price and so on. It would be more reasonable to do something like moving averages. When they cross, you sell. When they cross again, you buy, and so on. This would probably make more sense. But again, this is just for demonstrational purposes. We're going to say a certain sell price. If a currency reaches the price of 30,000, for example, we are going to sell it, and we're going to sell, I don't know, 0.3 units of that. And the buy price, if the currency falls below 25,000, we're going to buy 0.2 units. Just something that I made up right now. And then we could run our bot by saying while true, price equals, and we use the float function on auth client dot get product ticker. By the way, the auth client can do everything that the public client can do. and more. So it's not like you have to use the public client for getting data. You can also use the auth client. So product ID equals BTC euro, and we're interested in the price. So that is the price that we currently have, and now we can say, okay, if that price is less than the buy price, then we're going to say print buying BTC, and we can say auth client dot buy, and we can say the size is the buy size or the buy amount. The order type is market, and the product ID is BTC euro. There you go. And we can do the same thing for the selling. So we can say, okay, elif if the price goes above the sell price. So the idea here in this case, in this imaginary strategy, is that when we fall below the buy price, we buy. When we go above the sell price, we sell. This is just something that I made up right now. We can say selling BTC, and we say auth client sell size is going to be sell amount, order type is going to be market, and the product ID is what we are selling, BTC euro. And otherwise, we're just doing nothing. So print, actually we need an else, print nothing. And time sleep 10. So we don't want to do it all the time. We don't want to do it all every 10 seconds. Maybe we want to do it every 2 minutes. Maybe we want to do it 5 times a day. That's up to you, but this is how you could do it. You basically just leave the bot running, and it is going to tell you nothing, nothing, nothing. If you want, you can also print the price. So I have the messages here. I didn't want to type all of them, so I'm just going to copy them here from the prepared content. Basically, here I have buying BTC euro because price of blah, blah, blah fell below buying price limit of buy price. This is just a separator for thousands. And we can do the same thing with the sell price. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste that here. And we can also have this not doing anything because price is whatever it is. Just some more sophisticated messages here. So if I run this now, you can see, okay, not doing anything. Price is 28,694.47 US dollars in this case. Not US dollars, euros in this case. Now the price changed, but it's still not anything significant. We can also try to manipulate this into, let's say, 28,700. I'm not sure if we're going to reach that. And if it falls below 28,690, we're going to buy in this imaginary scenario. As you can see here, rose above selling price of that because that is the price right now. So it's selling. Of course, we're not selling because we don't have it. Maybe you would want to have some error message for couldn't sell or anything. But you can keep this running all the time. You can maybe change this to, just for demonstration purposes here, we're going to change this to 2 seconds. You can see selling and selling and selling. Maybe it's going to fall below. Then it's going to do nothing. Now it rose quite a lot. So this is just something that you can do. In reality, you would use a more sophisticated strategy. Maybe you would use the machine learning neural network from the video predicting crypto prices. Maybe you would use moving averages that are crossing, and then you would say, okay, now sell, now buy. In this case, we just did something that doesn't make any sense. But this is how you build a trading bot, a crypto trading bot in Python. You choose a strategy and you implement all of the strategy as in all the videos that I have on this channel. But the final thing that you need to do is you need to take action. So you need to then say buy or sell when a certain trigger happens. So that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed and hope you learned something. If so, let me know by hitting a like button and leaving a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know if you want to see a video like this for Kraken or any other exchange. And besides that, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to not miss a single future video for free. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video and bye.